The roles and mandates of the various committees of the Assembly are fundamental in enabling the Eala realize its desire to see the region succeed and become a powerhouse not only in business but in various spheres including education, tourism, health and the socio-economic and political realm.
There have been gains that have been registered this time round because the earlier community was more or less leader-led. It was so much driven by the heads of state, so it was a summit issue. This time around, there has been a paradigm shift and different stakeholders are involved in the process.
Under the oversight activities, the committees, and particularly some of the committees I sit in, like the Committee on Communication, Trade and Investment, had a tour of all border posts to see to ourselves how the implementation of the Customs Management Act is being implemented by partner states.
The key laws enacted by the Assembly have the potential of accelerating mutual benefits among the people of East Africa. Going by the several pieces of legislation so far passed by the nascent Assembly, Eala's success remains unmatched by any other regional assembly. One such fundamental law is a Customs Management Act, a key piece of legislation that governs trade within the bloc. The Customs Union, which provides for the establishment of a common external tariff, hopes to nurture trade through creation of a conducive trading environment, instituting checks and balances, and the elimination of non-tariff barriers in the EAC trading bloc, whose gross domestic product rakes in an average of $75 billion annually. This has seen trade within the region increase by 49%, up from 37.6% in 2008, making the region attractive for investment. Boosted with fast-paced business reforms that have seen Rwanda and Kenya rank highly as some of the lucrative destinations for doing business in the continent and the globe, giving rise to economic growth, typical examples being witnessed in Uganda and the United Republic of Tanzania, both of which have greatly benefited and enhanced trade while opening new frontiers. The Republic of Burundi, on its part, is keen to keep its development on track. Generally, there are benefits for all in the interdependent relationship that defines East Africa. Eala strives to ensure enhanced intra-East African trade among its people, something that will greatly boost the customs union and the common market.
The private sector really has moved to different capitals. You can see cross-border investments by different companies. I think the role of partner states is just to provide the business environment, conducive business environment, and then the private sector then can flourish. 134 million people. That is a huge market. And what we don't seem to understand is that if we utilized this market and increased the level of intra-East Africa trade, a lot of the goods that we, consumer goods that we import from outside of East Africa would actually be manufactured within East Africa.
The Common Market, launched on July 1st, 2010 to allow for free movement of labor, capital, goods and services among others, is a crucial protocol in the lead-up to the realization of a monetary union which aspires for a single East African currency and ultimately a political federation, a key and definitive step in the integration process of the EAC that today boasts of the world's most admired historical sites and vast mineral resources. Eala's deepening role in the EAC's integration process is accentuated given its vision of a prosperous region that seeks an assertive role in global affairs, particularly trade.
One thing I must say that as a community we have not done very well is sensitizing the general public more on matters pertaining to the East African community. Of course, we can't do it alone. It has to be something that has been done collectively within the community and also the partner states. We have ministries responsible for EAC affairs. who should not only coordinate but also sensitize their citizens on what is happening in the community. So I think that is a big challenge that we have. But those challenges come with, it's more about funding in terms of community activities.
Eala also plays a key role in the representative aspect by interrogating policies of the community to ensure efficiency and effectiveness, fairness and equity. In its representative role, Eala continues to be the voice of the people, informing them about the commitments and policies of their governments to the EAC. As a regional legislature striving to see stability in East Africa despite myriad of challenges affecting the region, Eala's role as a key organ of the community has become the embodiment of East Africa's unity, prospering the vision, one people, one destiny. But in a changing world where competition is growing by the day and new opportunities opening up, Eala's vision to see an industrialized community free from hunger, conflict and underdevelopment is a key mantle, which is why a crucial resolution passed committing partner states to jointly negotiate the economic partnership agreements is so important to Eala. Like any other assembly representing its people, Eala's 10 years of existence have not only changed the mindset of the community, but it has been an enriching experience for the assembly, which holds 5 sittings a year, principally on a rotational basis in the partner states.
We've also tried to have a series, what we call Nyanyuki series, because it started in Nyanyuki, where we have members of parliament from all the partner states. We have around 20 members from each partner state and all members of Eala. And we sit down and discuss matters of East African nature, where we are, where we should go in future, what we should change. So we've really, as much as possible, tried to get to East Africans or the national assemblies of partner states through these processes.
These East African leaders in the Legislative Assembly actually act as East Africans, as opposed to acting as Ugandans or Kenyans or Tanzanians.
In addition, during the various meetings and conferences, including the popular Interparliamentary Relations Seminars, commonly referred to as Nanyuki series, Eala discusses and debates on critical matters on a wide range of issues revolving on regional integration, as well as in getting buy-in from the national assemblies and other key stakeholders. Annually, Eala hosts the chairperson of the EAC Summit of Heads of State to deliver the State of the EAC address. The objective focus being to reflect on matters of general policies related to the progress the community is realizing, while outlining the strategic challenges which require greater attention.
Although the framers of the treaty quite understandably put an emphasis on economic integration, there has always been and will always be a political federation trend between and among the people of East Africa. Because the East African community, in my understanding, was born out of a desire, out of a need to face certain strategic challenges. And those challenges go beyond a mere economic integration.
Careful to avoid drawbacks such as the ones facing powerful blocs like the European Union, which the EAC model borrows heavily from, Eala is seeking to consolidate the gains made in the last 10 years and reach out more to the people of East Africa, whom Eala feels should have more representation in the Assembly. According to House Speaker the Right Honourable Abdirahim Abdi, Eala is not averse to and may in future be seeking a larger mandate by providing for the amendment of the EAC Treaty to allow for its members to be elected directly by the people, for so long as effective structures in administering universal suffrage are instituted.
As Assembly, we have put recommendations whereby we said that members of parliament should be elected by the people. Of course, at the same time, it's easier said than done. Currently, under the treaty, it's each member state should have 9 members representing it. Once we start talking about election through adult suffrage, we have to change other issues. We have to also go to look at how many members from each partner state. We have to look at of course, when you start talking of proportional representation, also people start talking of who will pay more, who will pay who will pay less. But also I have to say that when you give people, when you take somebody through that adult suffrage and you say you elect those people, you also have to give him more authority to go with it.
Even if you have universal suffrage, you elect these members of parliament, then you have really to fund for your members of parliament so that they can have their presence felt.
This, Eala feels, will make it more omnipresent in a community at a time calls continue to mount to have an assembly that is able and capable of coming into contact with more citizens. And because charity begins at home, Eala has now enacted the Eala Elections Bill 2011 that seeks to govern elections of its members by providing a framework for the laws, regulations and procedures of electing representatives to the regional August House and for addressing any matters incidental thereto. An expanded assembly representing 130 million East Africans is no easy feat. With a lean budget contributed to by partner states and development partners, seeking alternative sources of funding remains fundamental, given the expanding nature and scope of the community as other countries plot their entry into the EAC. This, the Assembly is committed to realizing.
Whenever we come to the partner state, we'd really wish that East Africans would be more open and come and say what they feel that we should do. Not that we always tell you what we have done, but what we should do, haven't done, or should do better so that we can improve, because this thing is for us all. It's for all East Africans, it's not for a group of people.
Eala's vision to have a people-centered integration process can be best described by the Assembly's pronouncements that for democracy to prevail in the region, an East African federal constitution and a regional electoral law are crucial. Continentally, Eala is making a mark with a number of other regional parliaments, today borrowing a leaf from the Assembly. Eala enjoys warm and cordial relations with the South African Development Community SADC Parliamentary Forum, the ECOWAS Parliament and the Pan-African Parliament. Eala's tentacles have spread globally, and the Assembly also has cordial relations with the Commonwealth Parliamentary Association, the European Parliament, the Inter-Parliamentary Union (IPU), and the Association of European Parliamentarians with Africa (AWEPA), among others. As Eala caps 10 years of dedicated service, a new phase begins, but with the People's Assembly remaining on track, focused and committed.
In the second assembly, of course, we kept on making more legislations which are going to protect the interest of the region, like negotiating together as a region instead of each country going on its own.
In the particular case of Eala, this could be achieved through greater cooperation and more linkages with the national parliaments. For instance, it may be useful to hold special joint sessions to debate our community's agenda, if you will.
Eala plans to continue shifting gears, thus leveraging each integration pillar to the next level until the shared vision and the ultimate prize of an East African political federation is achieved. Eala, a truly Bunge la Afrika Mashariki.